It's the fall of 2024, and the US is on edge, eagerly awaiting the results of a heated matchup, with eyes across the nation fixed on a fierce competition between a male and a female, showcasing strength, determination, and above all else, who can eat the most salmon. That's right, I'm talking about Fat Bear Week. Huh? Yeah, Tuesday saw the end of the annual Fat Bear Week competition, a fall ritual put on by Alaska's Katmai National Park and Preserve. Fat Bear Week involves a single elimination tournament where the public votes online for the bear that demonstrates the most impressive weight gain, as they feast on salmon in preparation for the winter. These brown bears, of course, have to be present in this national park in the early and late summer so that voters can see each bear's change in body mass. And in case you ever feel self-conscious, adult male brown bears typically weigh around 600 to 900 pounds in the midsummer, and by the time they're ready to hibernate, they can end up wolfing down as many as 30 fish a day and reach a weight of around 1,000 pounds. The females are about a third smaller, but still, that's a lot of sashimi. And in this week-long contest, those among us who love watching live streams of bears plumping up like they're making the most of their trip to the Golden Corral get to make their voices heard in this subjective competition. Park rangers ultimately choose 12 bears who take part in this thing. And this year, there was no shortage of fat bear drama. In fact, the very release of the Fat Bear bracket was delayed because of this.
Earlier today, another bear killed another bear in the mouth of Brooks River. It was caught live on the webcams. We can see bears in the background that are fighting.
That's the voice of the resident naturalist at explore.org, the nature site that administers the online voting. Walking through this edited footage of bear number 402, a female that was supposed to be in the contest, who was approached, attacked, and ultimately killed by bear number 469, a male of nearly the same size. That's certainly unsportsmanlike conduct, though this isn't really a sport, these aren't men, and as noted by the National Park Service, for bears, fat equals survival. And indeed, this contest spotlights their struggle to survive the winter by eating a year's worth of food in 6 months, without even the aid of those emergency buckets so many of us have come to rely on. And because bears need to eat, well, the show must go on. And the brackets were ultimately released a little after this went down, though without bear number 469 and of course number 402. For obvious reasons. Voting kicked off last week with 8 bears pitted against each other in a March Madness-style bracket. And the winners of those head-to-head matchups went up against 4 other bears who had received byes. Online voting then continued through Tuesday, as 903 took down 747, 32 defeated 856, and 151 got the better of 164. And the final match ultimately went down between 128, aka Grazer, a highly defensive mother bear who's raising her 3rd litter, and 32, also known as Chunk, a 20-year-old male that's believed to be one of the largest bears out there, weighs around 1,200 pounds, and once ate 42 salmon in 10 hours. You hear that, Joey Chestnut? And there's some seriously bad blood in the water between 32 and 128. Not only was this a rematch of last year's final, where Grazer best Chunk by more than 80,000 votes, but back in July, after 2 of Grazer's cubs from her 3rd litter were swept over the falls into the Brooks River, Chunk ended up killing one of those cubs. Yeah. And not only that, the surviving cub even went on to compete in September's Fat Bear Junior contest, though ultimately lost. But revenge is a dish best served raw out of an Alaskan river. And after the final votes were tallied on Tuesday night, 128 Grazer once again emerged victorious with 71,248 votes, to 32 Chunk's meager 30,468 votes. In total, more than 1 million votes were cast during 2024's Fat Bear Week, which actually marked the contest's 10th year. It first started back in October 2014 on the National Park's Facebook page as a one-day Fat Bear Tuesday that plumped up to become a full week in 2015, and has since continued on even in the face of, well, killer bears, with no signs of stopping unless, you know, there's a federal government shutdown leading to a postponement. But as an event that's meant to celebrate the resiliency of the 2,200 brown bears at this National Park Preserve, let's all raise a fish to Grazer. And with the specter of political violence entering the 2024 election discourse, let's hope we treat each other better out there than some of these guys, okay? Hey, I'm Greg Ott, and this is your daily news refresh. We put out new weird, funny, and interesting news videos like these each and every day. Give us a like and a hot subscribe to get more stuff like this in your feed. Rawr.